And their actions on this debate could affect this year's election. This morning, our political analyst weighing in. We welcome John Dadian to the desk. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, John. We're going to play a soundbite real fast here off the top of this segment from Bloomberg. It kind of continues off to what he just mentioned, but let's go ahead and play that right now, and then I want to get your take on it.
You know, soothing words are nice, but maybe it's time that the two people who want to be President of the United States stand up and tell us what they're going to do about it. Because this is obviously a problem across the country, and instead of the two people, President Obama and Governor Romney, talking in broad things about they want to make the world a better place, okay, tell us how. And this is a real problem.
Your reaction?
Despicable. I do not agree with Mayor Bloomberg on that. This tragedy has occurred just, very short time ago. Let's bury our dead. Okay? For anybody to bring up any type of political issue, I think is terrible and unconscionable. We have a list of elected officials, some who have made comments, some who haven't, and some did it right and some didn't. I think the two presidential candidates, one thing I disagree with Mayor Bloomberg is, the two presidential candidates, I think, did it right. They said, the president says, I'm thinking of my daughters. Romney says, I'm thinking as a father. That was the right context. Let's talk about gun control later. When legislation's up there, they can use this as a reference. But right now, let's bury our dead.
November election right around the corner. Do you think that this shooting will have an effect in November's election?
It is too early to tell because if you look, and I hate to make this comparison, but after the Representative Giffords shooting, there was a big call shortly after, and that went away quite quickly after that. And that was not really a main issue in the political realm just a few months shortly after. So I think between now and November, it is a long time. So I don't see it as a major issue for the simple reason that the issue of gun control or the issue of anything related to that has been around for a while, and people pretty much have their firm views.
Here's my question, John. So Mayor Bloomberg makes it a political issue on Friday. Does the president going to Colorado today doesn't make it a political issue, or just he's there because he's consoling the families?
That absolutely does not make it a political issue. It's the right thing to do, and it's called leadership. And I give the president kudos. And I will go as far as to say that if he gives comments at this service, as well as he did at the service for the victims in the Congresswoman Giffords shooting, that was true leadership. That set the right tone. He talked about the tragedy that happened. He didn't talk about any of the politics. You talk about the politics later, and that's why I keep hearing this theme. It absolutely is appropriate, proper, and I say God bless the president for showing leadership and coming out, making the comments he's made so far, and for going to Colorado.
The topic of gun control, though, obviously a hot button just amongst the public right now because of this tragedy. When is it appropriate for our politicians, for our leaders to get together and perhaps have a conversation about what we can do to prevent these types of things from happening?
When legislation is proposed, when legislation is being debated, when there's actually some concrete proposals there. And again, it would be appropriate at that time to maybe use examples to bolster the argument, but not when an actual tragedy has happened that we're not sure of all the details yet. Again, when I say that some people have handled it properly, some haven't, including the media, ABC News is now considered a pariah because one of the first things they said is they compared it to the Tea Party, and they accused a Tea Party member of possibly being the shooter who had their same name. Turned out it wasn't the person at all, and I think I've noticed people both on the liberal media and the conservative media have both criticized ABC equally, and I think appropriately so.
Coming up on the announcement, let's change gears just a little bit. Coming up on the announcement, I think, for the VP choice for Mitt Romney, probably about a month away, is about usually what it is, the end of August. Any thoughts on who he may select?
Well, according to Mrs. Romney, she sure would like a woman. I think she's been pretty clear on that, and there's several good candidates. It really is a lot of jockeying going through. I think one that seemed like the so-called front runner was Senator Rubio from Florida, and his name's not being talked a lot, and there's rumors leaking out of the Romney camp that it won't be him. You got to keep your eye on Governor Jindal of Louisiana. The one who I think keeps saying he doesn't want it that really wants it is Governor Christie of New Jersey. So I think all of those are extreme possibilities.
And the female candidate,
certainly several. Governor of New Mexico, Hispanic, female, adds a lot to the team. New Mexico, on one hand, small electoral votes, but big in image, et cetera. So, yeah, there's several women under consideration. Sarah Palin not being one of them.
And immigration too, which is it's kind of a hot button for Mitt Romney, and he's kind of been soft on that issue. So that would make some sense.
That absolutely would make some sense.
Yeah.
All right, John Dadian joining us this morning. Thank you so much for joining us on your Sunday morning. We appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Nice to see you.
Very good.